Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game 2. In this matchup, this best of 3 between Team Boom and Team Boss. Team Boom taking it in a very commanding. What are you doing?
Looking at the time.
Oh, yeah? What's the time?
It's time for Game 3.
Game 2.
Game 2.
Wow, you
Game
can't even
3.
read your clock. You can't even read
Sorry,
it. Get out.
It's upside down. There you go. All right, now it's game time.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so you're reading it upside down. It's kind of like, here, I'm going to read this book. How hard could it possibly be? Oh, hold on.
Yeah, you read some English comics, and then you read manga. It's all backwards.
Yeah, I don't read manga often, but I do know that much. So we're going into Game 2 right now between Boom and Boss. Boom taking it in a very commanding fashion. Can Boss bring it back and bring this to a tied series, or is Boom going to try to clinch this off in dynamite fashion?
It's tough to call, man. I mean, Boom came out swinging hard, and I don't think Boss was prepared. But, I've noticed something. Sorona is usually an overwhelming victory for one team. We've not really had close games on Sorona. Not today.
It's one of those things where if you let the mid get farmed for too long, then it just tends to end up being a sweep.
But I don't even think it was really that. I mean, it's just kills.
Lots of kills, which is a nice. It's a different change of pace compared to what we've been used to today. Today has been very much about the long, safe kind of plays, as most teams are kind of competing for that money. But now that we're at the point where everybody's guaranteed to have a spot in the top 3, maybe the teams are feeling a bit more aggressive, feeling more free to try out different strategies.
Okay, so they're up to the point now. All right, we're getting money. Ooh, more money. Yeah, I mean, that's human nature.
So is the greed real?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if the greed's real enough for Boss.
We wouldn't be playing if it wasn't.
I don't know. I have fun.
Top 3, I'm done. I'm happy with 3rd place. Thanks for the tournament. Goodbye. No, that doesn't happen. Let's go for first. Why not?
Fair enough.
All right.
Here we are, going for our second
number
game.
2.
Game number 2. Boom versus Boss. Let's go ahead and take a look at this draft in the Game 2 in this best of 3. Very safe drafts. Just looking at this out of the gate, we already know exactly how this looks. Boss going to go ahead and ban out the Swiggins right out of the gate. It's to be expected. You've got Ted being banned out by Boom. Boss going for the Penny Fox right out of the gate as well. That's a very strong beginning pickup, especially with Swiggins gone as well as Ted. Boom going to counter with a Clunk Coco pickup. Boss going to counter that with a Scoop of Justice pickup. They're going to ban out the Yuri. Boom going to ban out the Vinny, so that way there's no stalling tactics. None are allowed. Boss going to pick up a Coco, and then Boom picking up a Penny of their own. So the Cocos and the Pennies on either team, the difference being the Scoop and the Clunk.
Worked out great for Boom before. That Clunk took home 4 kills and many more assists in that last team fight.
It did, but now there's no Swiggins to initiate these things.
True. You
need to rely on your Penny to do the majority of that work. And a Penny against the Scoop, we've seen how badly that turns out. Boss going for that natural counter in the hammer. We'll see whether or not they can coordinate the natural counter with the natural burst that comes out of Penny and Coco. That's all going to depend on the game, which we're going to get to in the next couple of seconds. Boss versus Boom on Ribbit 4. Game 2. Boss fighting for the tournament lives. Boom looking to clinch this in a 2-0 fashion.
Yeah, it is going to be on Ribbit. And what we saw earlier in the brackets is that anytime it's Ribbit, you see a Nah. Or anytime you see a Nah, you can just assume it's Ribbit. It hasn't happened these last few games, and neither team's really been interested in picking up the little scroggle. But either way, we are back to the Froggy G homeworld, and there's no Froggy G to celebrate today.
Not this time, no. And people opting to pick up Penny instead. In this metagame, Penny usually the better pickup, or as far as competitive teams are concerned, they feel that she has a little bit more utility and variety as long as you can continue to play her properly. On the red team, you got Bad Joe playing your Scoop. On the Penny, it's Curb Derb, and finally Cannoli on the Coco. Curb Derb taking a lot of damage, but going to get out of there anyway. Badger going to toss out a hammer, and then Kaio on your Clunk going to end up taking a decent amount of blaze damage on the back end of that. Penny Fox being played by Paolo, and Blah playing your Coco Nebula.
Too many buttons.
Too many buttons on the dance floor.
Bringing you back to those items bot. Piggy bank into boots immediately here for Bad Joe.
Yeah, those boots, a very important item for Scoop. It allows him to move around so much quicker than what you're normally used to. It allows him to put that space that he needs between him and his opponent to really land those clutch hammers. It also allows him to chase with bindings really easily. Then you've got base abilities, practically everyone else. Out comes the Explode. The Explode's going to end up hitting Bad Joe, going down for the first blood. Kaio going to end up picking it up. And
this seems
boom.
familiar.
Yeah, Kaio going to start this off on the right foot for Boom. Things already looking good for this for this Team Boom here over here.
So yeah, Boom once again grabbing themselves that bad Joe factor, saying we're not afraid of your factor. You should actually be looking at our Clunk factor, because that's 2 games in a row now. Kaio has actually landed the first blood with that explode. He takes it to 1-0. He ended up, I believe, with 4 of the 15 kills last round. So he easily had 3 of them early on. That allowed him to snowball in, and that was just enough to bring up this burst, and that was the rest of the kills there for the team. This map, however, is a little bit different than Serona. It's not nearly a snowball because it's not all about that worm. It's not all about that extra solar gain. This time, though, you can get extra solar from the bosses on the sides, but of course you do have some inherent dangers in doing so.
You do, and you also leave your lanes open to being assaulted by the enemy team.
Yep.
And already, Boom putting a lot of damage on that top turret. It's down to a third with no retaliation really coming out of Team Boss. Things already looking really, really good for Team Boom. Right now, Boss needs to play very carefully. They need to keep in mind the idea that, yeah, they're likely to lose a tower to this early Clunk pressure, but if they can get those situations where Boom puts themselves in a situation that they are all in a line, and out comes a well-placed hammer, and out comes a pulse to go with it, then yes, Boss can easily bring this back, but they need to play it safer and wait for those couple of clutch upgrades that their lineup absolutely needs in order to really go off.
Well, Kyle's going to be off to get himself a little bit of health. Who is actually the big target here in the mid? Palo took a little bit of a beating there. Same with the Blob, but overall nothing really too collapsy, nothing really too big and bursty. We are consistently bouncing, I've noticed here from Curb Derb. I wonder if they're trying to keep down the Clunk hit points so he has a harder time deciding when to explode, because if you are low hit points on that explode, then you miss. And you have a pounce come in, a ball come in, the hammer, you could be in a sticky situation. So I'm curious to see if that will continue here, or if it's just literally the opportunity to keep hitting him presents itself. Bad Joe is going to tank out some of that turret shots. Not entirely too sure if he was looking for a big follow-up from the team, but in terms of a left-click ability, Curbderb and Cannoli, at least this early on, they're not going to be the big tower pushes that they're looking for.
No, they're not. But Kaio on the back end there, going for the explode, he's going to end up exploding onto absolutely nothing. So that was a good play out of Boss. If you'd seen that Kirby Derby just floating away, managing to use the superior speed to get out of there. Now, Snare Bite picked up by the Clunk. You then have Conductors picked up by both Cocos, and Boots now picked up by Clunk as well. So Kaio obviously thinking, I've had enough of this lightweight character getting around my stuff, pooping nanny. I'm done with that. I'm going to go ahead and get those Snare Bites out instead. And we'll see whether or not that pays off for him with those explodes. Bite gonna miss there.
That's
but
really delayed Bite.
Yeah, but people dealing with a little bit of lag. If I remember correctly, Boom's from Europe, Boss from Canada, but that's not gonna save Curb Derb. He goes down to that explode, and that's gonna be a second kill. The bindings coming out of Bad Joe, though, gonna send Paolo home, or at least to collect some creeps. He's a little bit weak. So is Blah. Kaio also a bit weak. You've got the entirety of Team Boss looking for a return kill, but they're just having a hard time with it. Bad Joe has Idol of the Ice Queen. He gets pounced closer to Kaio, but not close enough. Bad Joe's still going to go ahead and get some HP out of it. He puts out the hammer, and he balled. So it's going to be the end of that particular engagement. But right now, things looking really good for Boom. And Boss looking to try to get something going for them. That explode going to end up missing. That's a pretty big upgrade. Bad Joe just barely going to try to get out of there. He's going to succeed and juke in the ball, so he'll end up being fine. Now, Cannoli, the one needed to be careful. One misplaced movement, and he's as good as dead as well.
So still 2-0 on the board. We're looking for the first kill here on top of Boss, but overall it has been once again just the bulliness coming out from Boom, leaving Red not so healthy. The explode comes out, doesn't hit Bad Joe, but it will take home the tower, and that's going to be some solar now in the pockets of Boom. And, it's pretty much an uncontested lead at this point. So once again, they do take control of their early game. The jungle farm has been fairly split up on both sides, each side basically just sticking to their jungles. But 6 minutes in, we've seen Solar Boss kills as early as 2, but both teams are just focusing on their lanes at this point, looking for that push, making sure that chip damage does not happen on top of these turrets, but that's not really going to be a big concern here for Red in this top, since they are now down 1.
Interesting upgrade being picked up. We've got left click being picked up out of Kaio, and not the missile salvo either, just like the beginning missile salvo. His second string now sporting a slightly bigger missile. So now every second missile he shoots out does a little bit of extra damage. Out comes the explode, and Curb Derb already dead. Cannoli running for his life, and Bad Joe going to get the kill on Paolo with the bindings. So that's the first kill coming out of the game for them. Lightning Ball being pushed out. Come on, Solar Boss, do your thing, and not this time. Blah, very low. You've also got Kaio on this clunk, just staying safe. Out comes the hammer. That's going to end up missing for now. The binding is going to end up hitting Kaio very low, but Cannoli not going to be able to go ahead and pick up a return kill. But still, that is an important sign of life coming out of Team Boss right now. They are still behind by a couple hundred solar in terms of the lead that Boom is rocking. But it's not enough to stop them from doing well. Cannoli doing a good job in that last fight, keeping the Clunk away from the rest of his team.
He also didn't die. That was the very important part there. We didn't have enough blaze damage in order to pick up a kill. Kaio was actually going to whiff that explode as well. But everyone's now going to be packing up and grouping up. Curbed having a trouble trying to get down through that hole in the floor, but he finally will. Cannoli again, sliver of hit points, will get out. Blah, a little bit more healthier on that back of that exchange. That just leaves Bad Joe now on the front lines in order to try to defend up against Kaio and crew. And we just had a Solar Boss go down, I believe.
Yep. Paolo and the rest of Boom managing to create enough space that even though they went for that Solar Boss, they did it with fine style.
No fear.
Taking out Cannoli. Curb Dorp getting picked off by Kaio, so that's going to be a 2-0 pick off for
Paolo.
Team Boom. That just leaves Bad Joe by himself. That was really unfortunate.
Everybody's in the sky at the shop. There we go. Find Blah. They're just pushing out that tower down south. And yeah, I mean, that was Paolo jumping into 3 of them. Had the confidence that it wasn't going to be his death, although it came really close. And on the back of it, with that explode, once again, looking at the kills. 3 kills to this Clunk. This Boom Clunk. Where's he been all my life? Because so far he's been absolutely fantastic.
He's been doing an excellent job. He's now quite low. If the red team wants to capitalize on something, this would be the time. Unfortunately, Cannoli going to end up dying. Bad Joe going to get the return kill with the sword attack. Now, Binding's going to come out. It's going to end up missing. No one's going to get hit by it. And Curb Derb also going to be alive. So that's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. That's something that Bad Joe will take. The tower also went down on bottom, but Bad Joe going to pick up that solar. So that's the best case scenario for that turret. Things right now looking quite bad for Boss. They are falling behind. They can come back from this, but it's going to take some time. It's going to take a lot of effort, and it's going to take a lot of luck. Bad Joe in a bad spot. He's going to end up getting picked off. The pounce burst, enough to pick him off. So Boom looking really good. 7-2 right now. 9 minutes and 30 seconds into this game. This is not good for Boss at all.
Blah and Cannoli just trying to trade out a little bit, but I think Blah didn't anticipate that ball at the very end of it. Either way, he does have some jungle creeps that he can pick up. Curb Derp now in the back. Has to be very careful with his hit points because he is a little bit low on that scale as well. But still, tower damage is continuing to rack up. Kaio has been very diligent with the top, where it's been really the other 2 ladies there on the bot. And you know, again, just they committing to these pushes. They're getting these kills. 2-7. They got the solar. And very, very slowly, they're advancing their way to a matchup with 99 cents.
Boss really wants to bring this back, but they're having a difficult time even gaining a light foothold, which is not something I really expected out of a lineup with a scoop on it. But there you have it. Scoop not proving to be as useful as they would have initially liked, but they are slowly starting to go for some interesting pickups that really help them out in that respect. Curb Derb going for the amplify damage increase on the pulse. If you manage to get enough of that, doesn't matter how ahead the other team is, the damage that you'll be able to put out will still be on par, as long as Curb Derb can land that properly.
Disclaimer.
Right now, Bad Joe taking a lot of damage. Cannoli going to end up taking even more. Maybe going to get away just in time. And yeah, that will be the case. So Cannoli just going to live, as will Bad Joe and Curb Derb. So that engagement looking out really, really well for blue team. Now the blue team, Bad Joe, what were you thinking there? Goes in on a Coco.
He got
the
body
Coco
blocked.
just going to murder him. And well, that was just unfortunate.
Yeah, he tried to hammer and get through, but it didn't work.
Yeah, well, that might have been a bit silly. It's a little difficult to get through a Coco at all when she's got Blaze and you're roughly the size of a Clunk. It's not ideal.
You calling him fat?
I'm calling Scoop very fat. Needs to lay off the ice cream.
But he's so soft.
And plushy, yeah. That's his problem.
And melty.
He's soft. He's not strong. He needs to work on his core. Some of that cardio needs to be a thing.
Could talk to our producer about that.
Yeah, probably. But as things stand right now, 2-8. Very much in favor of Boom. They're looking to take command and clinch this in a 2-0 series. Out comes the damage. Curb Derb going to end up going down to a well-placed pulse. Bad Joe and his hammer not going to be enough to secure a kill yet. by any means. The blue team's going to go back and play it safe, pick up the HP that they need to in order to be alive and well in these engagements. Paolo going to come in and try to do something there, but no dice. Cannoli just going to back off.
Pacing has been fairly consistent. 11 kills in just over 12 minutes. 2 towers down, but still very reminiscent of game number 1 of Boom and Boss. And again, Boom, you can clearly tell how the tournament has affected them. They dropped out 2-0 to this exact team, to Team Boss, in their first winners quarters. But they have since won everything else, and they are coming back, and they are absolutely on fire. They got the momentum pushing for them. They get themselves another kill, 10-2, and they're going to be looking to solidify a tower here fairly shortly.
They're doing extremely well, and unfortunately the coordination coming out of Boss is not exactly enough to win these team fights quite yet. They could do it. Oh, wow, that Kaio explode is a miss. Now this would be an opportunity for Bad Joe to come in and do something, but with Paolo there with the Penny, you need to be careful. Out comes the pounce, the bindings, Curb Derb taking a lot of damage. Bad Joe going to come in and try to support, lands a hammer on all 3, and that'll be the end of that particular engagement. So things right now looking very good for Boom, obviously. They've got the items, they've got the solar, they've got the towers, they've got everything going for them right now.
They have everything going for them. That's a good way to put it. And so it is their game then to lose. One big screw-up could easily shift some of this momentum, but one big screw-up is not going to be quite the correction to the solar. If you take a quick look, 5, 6, and 4 is 1,500 solar at the 13-minute mark.
That is a lot of potential upgrades, as we can see. That seems to be the case. They've been spending it pretty diligently. They've been using it to great effect. Now, Boss being kind of herded into this area where the solar boss is very angry, going to spit on them. The pulse going to end up hitting 2 of them, and now the entirety of Team Boss pretty low. They're going to have to take it easy for a bit. Bad Joe wants to do something about the solar boss. He does not like that it's being picked off, but what else can he really do?
Well, is Paolo going for the boss, or is he going for the health? Okay, now he's going for the boss.
Why not both?
He was a little hesitant before, but absolutely no problem. They pick up more solar now into their coffers, and Bad Joe, bottom turret, down to 3 bars, and the flip side up here, just a little over 4. These are not strong barriers towards the core.
No, they're not. But wow, they managed to get their first pick off in a while with the new damage upgrades that Curb Derb has picked up. On top of the amplified damage, that is going to be enough to get a double kill. Signs of life still coming out of Boss here. That was a bit of a wake-up call for Team Boom. They needed to be a bit more careful. They were caught out, the exploded, missed, and Boss, that should be a surge of morale that they didn't maybe have at first. They still are showing signs of life. They still are able to do something here.
Yeah, Bloss doing his best in terms of defense, but he is just a Coco. He gets caught out. He's going to get murder-fied. But at the same time, Jungle Creeps are now coming back in. Cannoli is actually back up to a relative good amount of health. Herb Derb is now actually going to finish off his rejuvenation, but tower damage is a little lacking, even 3-on-1. Blab finally does come into this, and he takes the lead in kills on the back of that one. And now Cannoli didn't quite have enough health. He's going to actually exit that fight. Curbed full health runs away from that fight, and not a good situation for Boss. They had some good momentum there, but they overstayed their welcome. That's going to be 1 tower, if not 2, and speak of the devil.
It's going to be an open core, so things still not looking good for Boss. In fact, things looking extremely good for Boom. They are definitely jockeying to take this to a 2-0 series. There is very little that Boss can do to bring this back, but they do have options, and they are going for them. The Amplify damage upgrade now fully maxed out on Curb Derb. There is a lot of damage to be done by that team. On top of that, Lightning Ball, the damage, it's coming out as well. Chuck Board also coming out on Cannoli. And finally, the triple scoop banner, opting not to go for the increased hammer damage or anything like that. It's do or die at this point. Bad Joe either needs to land those bindings appropriately or something, but they need to get these kills quickly and efficiently. Lightning Ball, banner, triple scoop, and amplify damage on the pulse all reflect that philosophy. And it's going to be up to Boss to try to play around what Boom has to offer and maybe bring this to a 1-1 series, but it's not looking good for them right now.
A little bit of damage now going back and forth, but teams are going to be all right. You know what I just noticed? Solar Boss has a necklace made of solar.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a solar boss.
I know, but it's cool. I like it.
it's a nice little neat thing here. Oh,
Things
wow.
you look at when Kaio's dying.
Yeah, Kaio, very low. He's going to end up being fine and just teleport home. But that's still good news for Boss. They're still forcing the other team back home. Other item pickups, Starstorm Statue, Range, and Death Lens on Paolo. On the Coco, you've got Duration and Light and Heavenly Blaze coming out. And then finally on the Clunk, you've got Thermonuclear Cleaner coming out as well as Bite damage. So
Big damage, big damage.
They're going for the big damage. They're going to kill the Team Boss before they have a chance to really do anything. Cannoli extremely low, looking to try to run away as best as he can. He's going to pick up some HP there, and then he's going to eat a pounce. Left click, he's going to end up going down. Bad Joe also taking a lot of damage. That Blaze making work happen. They're just going to teleport home. Is it going to be enough? Yep, they're both going to make it home. But that core damage now starting to ramp up. That's going to be 3 bars at least. And then now Boss has to be very, very careful into how they decide to engage on this.
Oh,
Bad
Paolo's
already
going
very
for
low.
Joe.
In comes the Bindings. The Bindings, very real amount of damage. But now Curb Derb in a very rough spot, desperately trying to pick up a kill, and he's going to succeed. But now Bad Joe to defend by himself against this team. He's lightning ballable even. And all these droids now, wow, half, a third, down to a quarter. That's going to be the end of that, it seems like. But boom, Bad Joe coming back. You got the cloak.
Go for it, Kaio. We believe Kaio can do it.
Kaio going in, going to get the bite. They explode. That's going to be another kill. That's a 2-for-2 exchange.
He's got this.
These
That's
droids
game.
are very real.
Boom.
Wow, boom. Taking it just like that. As you say, boom goes the dynamite. That's going to be a 2-0 series in favor of them. Boss now just going to have to sit happy with 3rd place, but that's still a good place to be. Just boom, really coming out on top of this and turning the tide in what we thought was going to be a very different game. In the last matchup, it was the other way around. This time around, Boom's going to be the one to take it. And now they're going to 2nd place at the very least, and they're going to go see 99 cents in the grand finals.
I'm just mind blown. 2-0 comes down into the finals.
Boom.
And they reverse 2-0 Boss.
Well,
It's the mark of a great team. They have grown so much in this tournament. They went
Yeah.
to 4 qualifiers, took all that experience under their belt, got top 8. Came here, lost. Learned from it, has taken out now Ion, has taken out Boss. They took out someone else. Who did they take out first? All Stars?
It was Lag, I believe.
No, they took out Leg yesterday.
Okay.
They took out All Stars today.
Right.
Then Ion, now Boss.
So they've
They're
been
top 2.
They've been taking out old school teams
I am,
all
I
night
am
long.
really impressed.
Well,
I am.
It's nice to be taken out every once in a while, but I don't think that this is the definition of the word that Boss had in mind. No, but
Not that taken
Boss gonna take it easy, unless
Wow.
if Boom takes the next 2 best-of-3s against 99 cents.
Yep.
This is gonna be the end of their of Boss's tournament attempts and ambitions. And
So to recap that, the grand finals is a set of best-of-3 that they have to win.
right, could you explain that in a little bit more
99 Cent
detail?
goes up 1-0 in the sets, which means they've been awarded a best-of-3. So this next best-of-3 is basically the deciding game. If 99 Cent's 2 zeros, they 2-0 the sets, and that's game. 99 Cents will win. If Boom can take this, then they put up a point, and it becomes 1-1 for the sets, and we do another reset to figure out who will actually take home those Alienware Alphas.
So
It's typical tournament rules. If you haven't seen a lot of them, you see a lot in other games. But it will come down to this first set of best-of-3.
and Boom doing a really good job showing, and wow, it's been a crazy journey for them. Like you said, 4 qualifiers, tossed down to the lower bracket.
Right.
The alternative success bracket proving to be a very successful thing for them as they managed to climb their way from
Alternatively, yeah.
the jaws of death, really, and fight their way through not 1, but not 2, but 3 best-of-3s?
3 best-of-3s today. 2 best-of-3s yesterday.
Yeah. So
And
it's
January 10, 11, December 17, December 18, numerous games there.
It's been
Amazing.
a crazy journey for them, and
Yeah.
now here they are competing for first place in these
Mhm.
grand finals against 99 cents. The popular choice, really, but with
Yeah.
Boom,
You know what?
I think they've got a new fan out of me on this one.
They do, yeah.
I'm sorry to see Boss go. I love those guys, but
Canada love.
Canada love
Yeah.
out of the 2 of us.
Canada
so
love.
good job, Boss. But Boom, I'm really curious to see how they do. I'm interested. I'm excited. 99 cents might have their work cut out for them. We'll see.
Well, back to the Reddit thread. Number 2 on the list was All-Stars.
All-Stars got knocked out
All
by
Stars,
these guys.
yeah, they won their first winners match. They got knocked out by 99 Cent, which, happens. They're in the grand final. But then they lost here to Boom. They didn't even make top 3. But they were number 2 on the Reddit. Number 1, obviously, 99 Cent, and they're waiting for it. They've earned that Reddit praise for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, though, fantastic work. And when we return, we will have the first set of the grand finals ready to go. First, though, we have a surprise for you guys.
Right!
Yeah, there you go. Kid on Christmas.
What are they winning?
So, just like what we've done in previous tournaments, if you go back all the way to the APLIs, the APL Invitationals.
That's a while ago.
It is, but if you recall, first place there also got an in-game reward, and we have now a graphic to show you. First place is going to go home with the in-game Alienware icon for the winners.
Wow.
That will show up in-game on your tab screen. That will show up in your leaderboards. Will it be 99 cents? Will it be Boom? Who's going to go home with Alienware Alphas, cash in their pocket, and the first place in-game icon of the Alienware logo?
That's a spiffy logo. Wow, I kind of want one.
We will find out, guys, when we return, because Game 1 coming your way in just a few.